We're gonna make them work for it.
What? It's gonna have to be like, yeah.
That's what I said. You're all carrying phones, aren't you? And you're worried about them.
They must know.
Trust me. I'm not carrying one phone, I'm carrying two.
Well, we do. Next one is teacher of.
Anything else? I just want to make a call. Assistant in a call phone. When I walk away, I'm gonna leave the phone. They won't have my number to call to say. So I didn't want to have my numbers because I couldn't walk away. They'll keep calling.
Got them at 6:30.
So I got a school phone. That's the number I gave out. None of them got my other number.
So here's what we're talking about. Hold on. Like the layering thing, like just tell her everyone. We've got the ammo.
So our student, 6:30.
Right, okay, so we're just, so you got the mix.
We're gonna have this other-
Shelter, it is.
You're good, you're good. I have, powder, I have commodities.
Okay, somewhere on this desk is a piece of paper. I hereby open the regular meeting of the Board of Education of Chickasha Public School District 26I001. The meeting was properly posted in compliance with the Oklahoma Open Meeting Act 25 OS Sections 301, 314. And the time is 6:01. Item 2, roll call.
Allen,
Here.
Clift, Jarvis,
Here.
McGill,
Here.
Morris.
Here. Item 3, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh.
Rhonda gonna lead.
We can do it again. Yeah.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4, recognitions.
Express employee of the month. Ryan Kelly. So for this month from Lincoln Elementary and Dr. A, we have Tish Kennedy and Sue Stuckey. Tish tonight. Sue couldn't make it?
Who could make it?
All right.
All right, first of all, I'll do Miss Stokey first, and she's not here. She's our paraprofessional, been in district for 17 years. What can I say about her, other than that she's committed, dedicated, always positive, has an excellent rapport with faculty, staff, and students, and she lives her faith in all that she does. Loves to help children, loves her family, loves horses, and I think she's a newly minted grandparent.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Fantastic. Always an amazing experience. So that's Miss Sue Stuckey. And we appreciate her for all that she does. And our next person is none other than Ms. Tish Kennedy. What can I say other than that? She's my go-to person. She's always up for a travel. It's never too early, it's never too late for her to be called on and said, hey, I need you to help. We're gonna go, okay. Now, and I will say that I did learn the other day, I didn't know this, that I'm sure my wife would agree that I have found someone who drives faster than I. She's been in the district, she's our 5th grade teacher, works with the technology, 17 years in the district, And I will say with an appreciation that she is a Texas
Oh.
But she has two sons. And she is a newly minted mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So she cares about children and she's always willing to go that extra mile, whatever you need her to do. She has two daughters that are OU Sooners. She loves musicals and the dance. And she was born and raised in El Paso, Texas.
She won't hold that against her.
It's, you know, so, Ms. Tish, appreciate you.
We're so
all.
glad.
Yeah.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. She put up with my daughter for a year. And really good job. It was the COVID year. She was really cute stuff during Zoom meetings. Yeah. You did. You'd have them go camping or something.
Item 5, public comment. We have none. Item 6, discussion and possible action regarding board policy EB, admission, residency, placement, transfer, and withdrawal. And it is a revision.
So tonight I bring to you policy EB for your consideration. This will put us in compliance with the new state law regarding student transfers. And so all of our revisions on this particular policy start on page 6. And I apologize, they're in blue. So all the numbering for the policies are off on what you're seeing on a symbol. But once we put it in regular format and everything, it's numbered correctly. I do not understand that hiccup in the system. So there are many changes that are occurring here to policy EB. And like I said, pardon me, they're in red on this one. So this completely follows state law. So just some of the highlights, we do put caps on classes and or grades as far as enrollment in relation to transfers only. So for tonight, for our submission for your recommendation, our department consideration, no more than 20 students per class for pre-K or 10 students per adult in that classroom. For kindergarten, no more than 20 students per teacher. Grades 1 through 3, no more than 25 students per teacher. Grades 4 through 6, no more than 25 students per teacher. And then secondary, grades 7 through 12 is 160 students per day. This is kind of a reflection of where we currently are at staffing wise. I have concerns if we lower them any lower, we're not going to be allowing ourselves any room to grow. However, I do not want to overcrowd our classrooms because teachers have got to be able to teach. So we're trying to find a balance at the moment. This is something that we will be revisiting every quarter moving forward. So this policy will go into effect January 1, and then every quarter we're going to come back in and we're going to look at all of our caps that we're putting on grades and classes. And if we need to make an adjustment, we can make an adjustment. We can actually do it at any board meeting, but we're bound by law to do it every quarter moving forward. Every transfer, so here's some of the changes that are going to come into play, and this is all in the law. Every transfer has to be reapplied for every year moving forward. If you have an older sibling in our district and you think that automatically gets your younger siblings in the district, it does not. Under law, they have to apply. They fall in line in the order in which we receive the transfers. And when we start taking transfers, we have to start at the top of the list and work our way down. There are no special favors here.
It does in here though, the top of, if you had a transfer this year, next year, you
can be at the top of the list if you're a current transfer in good
But not your
standing,
sibling.
but not your
Right.
sibling that is not
Individual.
here. So this is going to impact our dependent school districts that are around us.
Yes.
And it's just the law. A couple of other things it's going to, there is only an exception here for teachers. So if you teach in the district, your kids are automatically accepted in as long as they meet the criteria to be a transfer. It does not make an exception for any support or administrative staff, period.
And that's law outside of it.
That is law.
District.
So if you are a support staff member, if you're an administrator, you want to transfer your kids in, you have to apply unless if you don't live here. We will start taking applications for the 22-23 school year in the spring. All this will be up on our website. It's just gonna be a big breakdown of this entire law. And like I said, we'll review it every quarter. We will put our class size limits for next school year on July 1 because that's the law. So every district across the state will be doing the same exact timeline as we will. And then after July, that's when you can know if you can accept transfers for the 22-23 school year above what you had this year.
The levels, Rick, that we have listed in the policy are the state levels you can't go beyond, or that's just
We
targets
set
we're
that,
setting?
This is the targets we've set.
For
Okay.
Chickasha.
If you follow House Bill 1017, it actually has them at 20, 20, 20, 20, and then 140 for secondary.
Right.
For us to hit those levels, we have to hire more teachers, and folks, they're not out there. We've had an opening at Lincoln this entire school year for 6th grade that we haven't been able to fill.
So are we under all these numbers right now?
No, we have 2 grades that are actually above it that we will not be taking any transfers in.
So-
6th grade's one of them. Because we're down a teacher.
But we put that cap at 25, right?
We're actually at 27 right now in 6th grade. So
And-
if anybody came in to transfer right now to 6th grade, we'd say no. Now, what this does, let me be very clear. We're saying 25. So in 1st grade, grades 1 through 3, 25 students. That does not mean if you live in the area, we can't go above 25. We're
Right.
just saying as far as a transfer goes.
Correct.
Transfers only.
Yeah.
Limit.
Are impacted by these.
Yeah. It's
And it really will, for the principals out there, if you've got kiddos in your buildings that have been on transfers for numerous years, they've not been refilling out a transfer every year. Their kids have come in 1st grade and they're still here in 7th grade. This is gonna be huge for those people. They have to fill out a transfer now. So,
when she's located.
yeah, this is gonna be a shocker whenever they get the phone call that says we're above our limit and we can't take you.
So it'd
So,
be a big
What will we
enrollment.
do on, what's the plan for communication? Because this is kind of a big change. I mean, we'll push through the mass notification, we'll put stuff on the website, or
We'll
we're
actually be,
gonna
we're
call
gonna
the
be sending
parents.
out a letter to all of our transfers
Okay.
that are our current returning transfers that we have in the district.
And our dependent school districts are aware.
They're aware. And
They
we'll be
should
sending
not
this
be-
they have to follow
right.
the same policy. We'll be
So
sending
they
this
should be
to
alerting.
them and we'll be talking with their superintendents and their
Good.
leaders.
Well,
So,
can't do anything about
but none of this goes into effect January 1. The only thing we can do right now is to present this policy for all of you tonight. Should you approve it, then we will post it. And then once it goes into effect on January 1, then we will start rolling everything out as we do all of our pre-enrollment in the spring. As we get ready for next school year, all that fun stuff.
and it's gonna be a big shocker for Pioneer.
Yeah.
Always before, they could choose where they wanted to go. So coming in as a 9th grader, it didn't matter how many we had. If they wanted to come to Chickasha, they got free reign to come to Chickasha. Now they can't if we're at our limit.
Even if they're in, I thought, because it's a dependent district.
So they get to pick one time
For free.
free.
And then
That-
after that,
So you're
They
kind
have
of
to
committed
reapply.
once you pick.
Once you pick, you're kind of, then you're stuck with all the cap size limits and all that.
Right.
There is going to be a lot of angst over this. And I will tell you, I thoroughly anticipate the legislator to look at this again in this next upcoming session. There's a lot of push on them to put that same provision in there for support staff and for administrators on their kids.
I think that was an oversight.
Um,
That doesn't seem quite.
That was, I don't really understand who pushed that through just teachers only. I understand, we definitely want to take care of our teachers, but
Is it admin too?
it's support and admin have
No,
to apply for
okay.
a transfer.
teachers only.
But now if a teacher doesn't live in district and their kid comes in, it's still considered a transfer though,
But
right?
they're automatically granted. They're treated almost
Right,
as like
but
the
it's still
military.
Yeah.
a transfer.
And that's one thing I didn't mention. If you're a student of a military parent, active duty, you're automatically considered a resident student.
Even if you don't live in the district?
They have to live in the district, or no, if they're transferring in, they get that one shot in there because when they get stationed here.
How much will this change us at the enrollment level? How much will it increase?
Honestly,
On
in
there.
just being real truthful with you, I don't anticipate us to take a big hit or even growth on enrollment. This is really meant to tackle everything that's going on in Tulsa and Oklahoma City, where
Okay,
this was aimed at.
okay.
I had a lot of conversation with our local area representatives when this bill was being put together, especially Representative Bowles. And I'll be real truthful with you. I'm just going to be honest here. If we deny transfer, there could be a hearing that will come to us. We will only do written appeals, and those will be handled in executive session. The part that I really do not care for in this policy, besides there not being provision for support and admin, is the fact that the school board, there's an appeal on your decision.
That bothered me.
And that bothers me because it takes away the local control piece. You
That's
are
insane.
the elected governing board of this community for the school. And I don't
So-
like it that you can go to the state school board and
And
appeal
say,
it there.
yeah,
So they're gonna inundate themselves
Well-
with appeals, so they've created their own problem.
Well, and I mean, I'm nicely, but I told all of our representatives and our Senator Paxton, we will be watching this closely. And
Mhm.
if our local board is overruled by people that have no connection to our community at all, they're going to hear about
We'll
it
get loud.
because it should be local control, in my opinion.
this is the issue. I
So you
actually
don't-
did reach out
you
to
don't
our
see
representative about
An
also.
increase in workload as far as paperwork or anything. as
The
far as
workload is
our
going to come at the
current staff,
enrollment center.
Which this is creating more work
Mhm.
for them. So that's my
Right.
concern is how are we gonna
We have a
support
dedicated
them and
enrollment
handle
center
that for
in the
them?
plans.
So this is one of the reasons why we put together an enrollment center last summer,
Okay.
knowing that this was coming.
And you feel it's sufficient to handle?
At the moment, Mona and her group are set and ready to go. She's all excited about it. She's doing a cartwheel today down the hallway about it.
Oh, we
Had to
missed
tell her-
it.
Had to say simmer down,
Redo it, come on.
but we're gonna tackle this one piece at a time. I will tell you,
Okay.
it is going to be the most interesting January through August.
Okay.
As we roll this thing out for the first time, but everybody in the entire state's gonna be dealing with
And
it.
it might not even, we might not even really feel it at first, but I still hate that, like chipping away at local control. just
option's
the
there for them to-
undermining, you know, like that,
Precedents.
and what I know I talked to our representative about was the whole aspect of why are we, you know, passing laws, like you were saying, for Tulsa and Oklahoma City, when a rural district's completely different.
That
and we
binds
have these
us.
sweeping laws, yeah, we have to work things a little
We
bit
may
differently.
need to
and so-
talk with our representatives
Well,
and see what
It
happens.
needs to be a consistent message that, and that they have their reasons, and I'm not gonna say them publicly why their concerns and all that regarding Oklahoma City area and Tulsa area, but I just said it's a shame that you're gonna pass a law, and they did, that impacts the local control at our level. When I said, give me a concern that you have of our district and our school board and our administrators making decisions regarding enrollment and transfers. Well, they had none. So why would, but anyway, law's a law. We're gonna follow it. We're law abiding people, but we're gonna be watching it.
Sure.
And if they override this school board, we're gonna honor it. We're gonna do what we should do, but at the same time, they're gonna hear about it. Because I'm all in favor of local control.
I think that's a good, I mean, we need to be unified in our message and all of our admin, our staff and teachers understand, I mean, it's public school, right? When the law gets passed, we've got to abide by it. This
Yep.
isn't something we wanted to do, but we just got to be positive, work with it the best we can and make sure that the parents that get upset about it know that we're following law. We're going to work with everybody. We'll all work together and try to make stuff happen for kids that needs to happen. So that's all we can do.
So I submit revised policy EB tonight for your consideration so that we can be in compliance with the new state law.
You
Right.
chose to leave Spigot out of it.
So actually, in that regard, at this point, I'm going to leave spec ed out. This is been drafted based on the law with legal counsel. Legal counsel is going to look into the whole spec ed piece. I don't know. I heard the conversation they had last week on Friday, and we had already posted. So we need to move forward and have this. And if we need to add a spec ed, there's nothing specifically about spec ed. That's lawyers taking it to another. And so
Right.
I'm going to let our legal counsel think about it. If we have to, we'll come back with another revised portion or it might be a regulation
Mhm.
that goes in there addressing that piece.
I'll make a motion to approve board policy EB, admission, residency, placement, transfer, and withdrawal.
Second,
Motion by McGill, second by Allen. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Allen,
yes.
Curtis.
Yes,
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 7, discussion and possible action regarding LWPB letter of agreement and contract for the 22 bond planning.
So as you know, we are in the process of working on strategic planning with the Oklahoma State School Board Association. We were also very fortunate for our patrons to support us in a bond issue earlier this year. We are in the, and as I talked in the community about that bond issue, I was very upfront that this is the first in a series of bonds that we're looking at for the future. And so tonight I bring to you an agreement with LWPB, who is been our architectural firm on the Restoring Excellence bond projects, for us to be able to go ahead and start looking at bond planning for our next bonds. This could be either one large bond, it could be some smaller series of bonds that we put out there. Ms. Stegman and I have been talking with Zach Robinson from BOK Financial on just what would be the best course of action for us as far as, do we want to do a larger lease revenue bond? Do we want to do what? But we have to have projects in mind and how that will all be encapsulated in there. If we do a $45 million bond, if we do a series of bonds where we do a 20 and then a 25 million, if we do 4 $10 million bonds, how would we put our projects? What would they look like? And so what we give to you tonight is a contractual agreement with LWPB for them to start this month, and it would be a site-by-site review. And you can see in there in items 1 through 11. There'll be touring buildings, reviewing conditions, looking at building closures. And when we talk about that, we're talking about buildings like the one behind us that's already kind of closed back here in the parking lot. It's just hanging out there. We got to figure out what we're going to do about it. Develop a list of needs, solutions, all those type things as we work our way through. So we will be meeting with them. This primarily would be Dan and I working with LWPB, and then we would bring in administrators as we look at each site. And then, of course, the board at some point we want to sit down and probably have a work session or something to go over everything. And that way you guys could see everything in totality and we could really have some discussion. Our plan, just to be upfront and truthful about everything, transparent, we would bring kind of going in conjunction with that strategic planning. We will have that plan done and submitted to the board April, May. We would also have this piece done around the same time. We bring you a bond resolution in June. And my recommendation will be for a bond vote on August 23rd, 2022. We have a lot of work to do between now and then.
It's already started though, because I was just looking at the schedule.
So we are, yes and no, we're kind of holding and waiting for this.
Okay, I just saw the October.
Yeah, no, that October is when we started talking and everything.
Okay.
We're kind of holding
Yeah,
right here.
sure.
This is all recommendation for tonight. And then it will see what all of you.
So you ready?
Yep.
Make a motion to approve LWPB letter of agreement contract for 2022 bond plan.
Second, Curtis.
Motion McGill, second Curtis. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 8, discussion and possible action regarding data sharing memorandum of understanding between CPS and the Chickasaw Nation.
Okay, so here, and this is where I might kick this out if I need some support if I say anything wrong. There's Pam. All right. So what we have here for you tonight, this is for with the Chickasaw Nation, this is for our Chickasaw Nation students. We have about 37, almost said 47, 37 students enrolled, and parent would have to give their permission and all this for them to be able to access that information. This is a data agreement that if they get that parent permission, we would be willing to submit and share with them that information. They will not get carte blanche information of anybody across the district or anything like that. It's just for students of Chickasaw Nation.
And we push that to them, right?
Yeah, and the parents have to have a signed authorization or release to do that. So would we at the district then require that form?
Well, we require it?
We require that before we start before we push any data.
Yes.
Like we want to see that signed form.
Yes. They will have to provide for us if whoever that student is, here's the student name, and it's a form they already have.
I forget the name of this.
Completely
app.
filled out.
Someone was
And then
telling
it
me
would be
about it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Is that the one, the Mizuni?
Yeah. I heard somebody was telling me about it a couple weeks ago. Chickasha Nation's doing that, trying to get all their tribal members to get on. It's like a health promotion
Zuni.
app, well-being.
Well, it's everything. It
Yeah.
gives them information on school supplies,
So,
the whole.
okay, so but when we push information to them and they are gonna then be communicating then with the student, do we know what information they're going to be giving us? Will Pam see that prior to? Do we know what
Our
that's gonna
agreement,
be?
our part, Pam, help me out here. Our part is only that we would
Give them
agree to
access.
provide the requested information that the parents have said that the Chickasaw Nation can have.
Uh-huh.
We'll provide that information to them. And then it really goes back between the Chickasaws and the parents. We're just that information provider that the parents have said, you can have this information on my child. Here's the check boxes. That's it. And then we're out unless I missed a step
No,
there.
that's right. I asked, so what's the benefit on our part then? How does this benefit us? And part of it does with student identification. They may already know other students who are part of Chickasaw Nation that we don't know of. So it can help us increase our student counts, our numbers, which then increase our Title VI funds and our JV funds. So it is mutually beneficial to both groups.
And I think it'll be really beneficial for the students because a lot of times parents don't keep up with what is out there and what they're offering. And this will give them an avenue to literally reach every single parent with all the information of what there is for them, for their kiddos.
Yeah.
Where we have a hard time giving them information about the school district, much less about what the tribes have to offer. So I can see it as a huge win-win for all of us.
I mean, I do. I
Yeah.
I want to be very protective of the students, their
Information.
identity, their information. And then sometimes what seems to be very positive and can be very good, all of a sudden you got information that went out there that might be against something that we don't believe in as a district or we're not okay with. So
Right.
how do we know what they're then pushing out to our students or who's influencing them to get a hold of our students? How do we protect our students and families?
They have to sign off on it. So that is our protection.
I mean,
No, that
The parent
protects
can back
us.
out. The parent can back out.
Yeah.
I mean, they can revoke their consent at any time and then that access is shut off.
So you feel like if there was something that, and I'm not saying there is, I want to be proactive in our protection.
Right.
If there's something,
That they don't feel comfortable
Right.
with, they can revoke. They
and
can
you feel
say,
like they might come to you and say, hey, this strikes me bad, or what if
I
what
think
if they
so,
don't?
Either myself or even Danya, because Danya is their main contact for a lot of information regarding Indiana. and
Okay.
JOAs.
So you feel like we do have some kind of oversight that knows what they're going to be then pushing to our kiddos.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't think we're gonna have any oversight of what they push directly to the Chickasaw kids and families. We don't now. They push on all kinds of stuff that we don't know about. So,
Yeah, but we are
I took
opening
it-
up the pipeline.
right. Well, I took it as a general thing. They're trying to provide better services to their youth and now a lot of parents don't have all that info. So instead of going through the parents trying to pull all the data. they're
How
going
will we get
directly.
the information to them?
They've got, well, Pam, I have better
they go
answer,
through
but
this
in the
app?
MOU, they've got the IT services that are gonna set up the secure data and they're responsible for the data
It
security
says
themselves.
each participant is responsible for maintaining and protecting the integrity and security of the data. So how do we, that's what I'm saying, is it gonna be secure on our end, how we get it to them, or?
Did you say they were using Mizuni?
Yes.
Mizuni also does all the SIP stuff between the state and the schools.
Right, but that's them, but when we get it to the Chickasaw, and I'm assuming the Chickasaw, the tribe gets it to Mizuni, right? Is that correct?
Yes, that's the go-between.
So how do we get it to the tribe? How are we gonna transfer that data?
They get it through our student information system.
Says the district shall authorize the secure transfer of data from the district students information system for all students to Mizuni. So it's gonna go straight from our system to
To
Mizuni.
them.
Oh, okay, it's not gonna go through the
Mizuni
tribe?
will provide data security and data reporting expertise, and they will be responsible for securely storing data transfer from the district student info.
They do have experience doing that.
Right. I thought it was gonna go from us to the tribe to Mizuni.
So it says Mizuni will securely transfer student directory information for all students to the Chickasaw Nation, so the Chickasaw Nation can identify students enrolled at the district. And it kind of Mizzouny will limit student data accessible by the Chickasaw Nation Department of Community Services to only those identified Chickasaw students. It kind of starts breaking it all down.
Mhm. I just wanted to make sure that we're not just throwing them out there.
Right,
We're
and-
protecting
and
their
they met
identities.
with us- They met with us about it. I mean, they currently have 35 other school districts who are working with them also. And at that point, 15 more districts who were waiting to do a board action like we are now to contribute.
Okay.
So I recommend that this MOU with the Chickasaw Nation and our district.
I need a motion.
Oh, so moved?
A second.
Second.
I have a motion from Alan and a second from McGill. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Allen.
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 9, discussion and possible action regarding agreement for educational services between Chickasha Public Schools and Southwest Youth and Family Services.
Ms. Slavin.
So you guys know, we brought it to you and talked to you that we are serving students, kiddos who are at Southwest Youth and Family Services. We just didn't have an official agreement for those services. I took the one that we used to have with the girls Sequoia Home when we served girls out in the Sequoia Home and sent that to our lawyer. We made some adjustments to that agreement to come up with this one and have sent it to Southwest Youth and Family Services to look at also. But it is just a simple agreement, again, that we will provide the educational services to the students.
I make a motion to approve the agreement for educational service between Chickasha Public Schools and Southwest Youth and Family Services.
Second.
Motion McGill, second Allen. Any further discussion?
I just have a question, just out of curiosity. Do we send when we have students over there, do we send a bus? Is it up to us to provide transportation? Is that a state
They
thing
serve
or
them
how
there.
do they get back and
We're
forth?
serving them there. We're not
Okay.
bringing them into the school system.
Okay,
Remember,
because I
we
was
serve-
reading
we
about
serve-
discipline and disruption and I wondered how then we were going to secure on the buses.
No.
Okay, we're good.
We are not busing or anything right now. The kids are being served on site at Southwest.
Stay
Youth
there.
and Family Services.
Great.
They're going to stay there. We've taken textbooks over there, curriculum over there.
Good.
We've taken Chromebooks over there so that they have access to Admentum and Study Island and those things.
Awesome.
We adjunct Ms. Rice,
Last
the
month.
teacher.
Oh, actually, it's supposed to be.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Roll
No,
call.
sorry.
That's okay.
You good?
Allen,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 10, discussion and possible action regarding creating a new activity account for the graduation coach and her mentoring program.
Slavin.
So Christy Oliver is our new graduation coach. She's working with students from 6th grade through 12th grade. She's starting up a mentoring program. She's such a go-getter. We're so excited about her. She's not good tonight. She's starting a mentoring program where she's matching students with adults in the school system. Several of us over here have signed up to be a mentor. And through that, she has worked with some of the churches to get donations for when we have lunch once a month with our mentee. And if, there's something special that we needed for that month, then she would have funds available to support that mentoring program she's starting out. She's already gotten her first donation from one of the churches for $500.
Nice.
And so she's just out there recruiting. We have our first lunch
Thursday, if I'm correct.
Thursday at 11:35, and one of the churches is sponsoring the lunch.
That's wonderful.
for that. So,
So this is high school kids or,
a high school and middle school.
okay,
kids.
so I thought it,
Great.
And as it grows, we'll start to add some more, but she was really happy with the number of adults in the school system that said, yes, I'll be a mentor.
That's cool. I like it.
I love it.
So how about a motion?
I make a motion regarding creating the new activity account for the graduation coach and her mentoring program.
second, Curtis.
Motion Allen, second Gertis. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Curtis.
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 11, discussion of possible action regarding memorandum of understanding Delta Community Action Foster Grandparents Program and Chickasha Public Schools.
Pretty long time.
So we have had foster grandparent program partnered with them for years. We did not last year because of COVID. They did not send any foster grandparents, but typically these are retired individuals that come up and read with students, particularly used heavy at Bill Wallace and Grant. And they came to us and approached us and said, we're ready to start that. We've got grandparents ready to
That was a
start
good
that."
program.
So it doesn't cost us anything. The only thing is the in-kind is lunches. They do get to eat lunch in the school district and we don't charge them. for that.
Will that
Pretty good
at
track.
all, I know, but will that at all create a problem with, it seems like, are we having problems with getting food and stuff like that?
You turned it into this group, so this is like I think it's a national group, and we report the value to them so they can report it up through the grants and funds, I think.
I just
It's
meant
our
if we're
in-kind
having problem getting food.
The trays,
Enough
Oh.
food.
supply
Like,
chain.
I would have said on trays a couple weeks ago, yes, but thanks to Dan and Trey, we're good on trays
Yes.
now.
Tray on trays.
The tray
on
master.
It was
Are
close
we,
though.
are we concerned at all whatsoever about the grandparents being in the buildings with COVID?
Obviously,
They
they're
won't.
not anymore, and I would bet, I don't know that they have any vaccination rule or anything.
We are not
that's
having them in a
attached to it,
classroom
but-
or in an open area. where we can
Well, I mean, they're signing the,
Typically, they read out in the hall or in a different area in the library, something like that.
so just for safety and security and protection of our students, are we having them fill out the new form so we know who's in the building? Do we do background checks or how do we?
They do the
That
background
organization
checks.
The whole organization? Okay, so then they provide us and make sure that they're all up to date.
Yes, and
Okay.
then they pay a small stipend hourly fee to the foster parent.
Great, okay,
Just
just-
supplement income.
Okay, just want to make sure that was continued over and that we have stuff up to date as these adults enter back into our kiddos.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve memorandum of understanding with Delta Community Action Foster Grandparent Program and Chickasha Public Schools.
Second, Alan.
Motion McGill, second Allen. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Curtis.
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 12, discussion and possible action regarding overnight travel for CHS cheer.
So what we bring to you tonight for your consideration is for the CHS cheer program to compete in a national competition in Las Vegas. This competition will occur on February 9th through the 13th of 2022. And you see some of the information there that was provided for us by Ms. Turner. She was not able to be here tonight. We do have Coach Bray and we do have Mr. Turner, who is a poor excuse for
But
Mrs. Turner.
he is says he's number one super fan.
I would like
Yeah, I
to
saw
see,
that.
I would like to see your best cheer. Mr.
Yeah, if you
Turner.
want us to approve this, we're gonna have to see.
You got a
something.
megaphone?
right.
Said something about he could do the splits. I don't know about that.
Okay, wait.
I want to see
We've
it.
got Mona doing cartwheels, Dan with the splits.
Or something like that.
I'm starting to worry about our
How about just a cartwheel? How about a cartwheel? We get a cartwheel?
Kara's worried about workman's comp. Never mind.
Okay, so it looks to me like
Thank
we
you.
got a bunch of parents and family members going.
Yes.
Yeah.
you do.
So I'm going to assume that means that we are going to have plenty of parents in rooms with kids. So all of these cheerleaders.
I don't want
won't
to
be
assume it. I want to,
unchaperoned in rooms.
In the room,
Mm-hmm.
I do not know that. I know they're around all the girls. All of our rooms are in clusters.
Yeah.
Where we're, like what we've done, like 2 years ago when we went, we had a room where we're at the end of the hallway and then there's other parents at the end down here on this end where we've got them all blocked in.
I guess my question is, we've got 17 girls going and they're not gonna be staying in rooms by themselves. There's gonna be a parent mixed in with all these girls.
I can sure ask Lisa. I don't know about that. I can't answer that, Rob.
Okay,
And then I'm asked the same question we did with the grandparent program. Everyone that's going, like we did in 2019, they came up and they filled out a form, so we
You'll have
know.
to do a background check. That was part of it. that
Right.
They have to do.
I mean, because I see some kids going too. I just think it's more responsible for us. We've got to know everyone who's out, who they are, and that they're going with these children. Like they've signed up here at admin. Because we did that in 2019.
Whatever we did in 2019, she said we're doing the same thing.
Okay.
I know when we're down there, we only travel on a bus.
Right.
And everywhere we go together on that bus to different places to eat, drop off points, and then they're back on the bus at
Right.
that same location, but
I just mean for the school and for us, we've got it on file. They've released us and we know who's going and we don't have any surprise visitors or, oh, Aunt Sarah
you
was
been- have
in
you
and
been
she's
given
all of a sudden going on the trip.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I know that works.
Okay,
should be, hey, Lori, that should be everybody that's traveling as a group flying out there, should be everybody that's listed on that.
okay.
list.
Well, as long as Lisa's gonna do the same thing, if someone should add or drop off, the same rules apply, up to date, have it on file. We've got to know who's going with our kids. Okay,
Because policy says that, like, the rooming should have been submitted to Rick or something like that.
I've not seen the room assignments.
Oh.
so when does that need to be turned
We can
in?
have room assignments to us quickly.
She can do that pretty quick.
So,
I know the concern on this particular part, when I asked about it earlier today, is nothing has been booked. And so as far as flight and hotel, they're concerned about prices at this point continuing to go up.
So we could make a
What's the first
motion
time we've
contingent
seen it?
with Rick approving the rooming.
Room
agreement, or
assignment.
Rooming assignments, right? Okay.
Just
let's do it that way.
notification so they
Yep,
can
That
get
way we're
going.
not, I
Yeah.
know they're gonna be approved for the trip, but Rick still gets to
Yeah.
make sure he's happy with that. I like that.
Okay.
okay, then you say it, Zach.
All right. I was gonna say, well, I can-
Yeah, it's just so moved. Right, and I'll
All
just,
right,
yeah.
Make a motion to approve overnight travel for CHS cheer with Superintendent Crosland to review and approve the rooming assignments.
For the
And
cheer
arrangements.
competition.
Well, yeah, I
It's
think
in
that
the-
is the assignment, right? The list of each name in the room. He's not gonna.
I need a second.
Second, Alan.
The easy part. Motion McGill, second Allen. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Gill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item number 13. Discussion and possible action regarding overnight travel for CHS Palm.
Oh, wait, was that last one? Were they going to Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, we can't do that. I'm just-
Too bad you voted.
The Palm team's going to Tulsa.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one's a little easier to
state.
swallow. I'm a little more comfortable sending them to
Tulsa.
Tulsa
Yeah, overnight, just one night.
than I am to Vegas.
But
We can put the exact same thing on here regarding the room assignments. contingent to-
that'd be good. Yeah, and Jerry Dawn, there's a list here. Will she do the very same thing as far as what Cheer's doing and have them all come up and sign the sheet and have everything on?
Yeah, we can do that.
Because we
This
have
is
the
a-
list of
This
people.
is just a standard state competition. Anybody that leaves the state to go to state will do
Right.
this. So that's basketball teams, wrestling teams.
So you're going to start seeing more of these
Because it's all in
Right.
Tulsa now.
because we're.
Right. That's why I kind of
get
want to
back
get
into
us,
things.
This one
as
doesn't
our
have a list-
standard method
this
of
one doesn't have a
operation
list of
to do
parent
it.
Sponsors though with it, because this is the
Yeah,
coaches and
doesn't
kids. It did?
I thought
No,
it said.
just
Oh,
kids.
No, because it's just
Kids
an
and 3 coaches.
in-state competition, so it
Oh,
doesn't have a
okay.
list of parents and
But,
sponsors.
right, but if they're staying or if they end up traveling with the team, that's what I'm asking, is he will have the same rules and guidelines with
Yes.
Tom as we just talked about with Cheer. Right,
I did like their LOL coaches.
I know, I saw that
It's like-
too.
Is that a thing? An LOL coach?
I wondered about that.
I figured it was a typo, but I figured I could totally be out of the loop. I'm getting about.
I
Yeah,
know,
I
maybe that's
know.
something I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, I kind of like being
Yes.
I'm an
an
LOL
LOL coach.
person too, yeah.
I like that.
Isn't that like a kid's toy brand too?
Yeah, it
LOL?
is LOL dolls.
Yeah, yeah, see,
So you want that same motion, right?
Yes, I did.
All right, I make a motion to approve overnight travel for POM, CHS POM with Superintendent Crosland to review and approve rooming assignments.
Second,
Second, Curtis.
okay. I'm sorry, I do have a question. We have got 1, 2, 3 coaches and 19 girls. So on those room assignments and the hotels, I mean, are they, because like Cheers being very cautionary. Yes, I know it's Vegas and yes, I know
Yeah.
it's different, but they're still going out of town with 19 children and 3.
I think kind of like what Jared was saying. So for instance, if basketball went to state, it would look similar to this.
doesn't mean that there's not 20 parents going, but this is what we're approving.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I just want to make sure we're
Any parents ago will do background checks and all that.
right,
It's just, you're gonna start seeing more of these as.
which
our-
is
Our
fine.
teams go through and compete, so you'll see the coaches and the team, but we won't know, like, one, if they qualify. For
Right.
example, I'm gonna pick on basketball, and then if they do qualify, then what parents are available to go.
Right.
also.
I just don't want to be unusually or very critical or harsh or stringent for cheer. I would like us to ask the same questions for security and things for,
Yep.
I don't care if it's Tulsa or
Yeah.
Durant, if they're staying
Yeah, you know,
overnight.
any parent chaperones, they're gonna help with the kids in the same hotel or stay in the same room to go through.
And I
that.
know this is coaching.
But I think
I'm
field
just
trips,
making sure.
Not overnight. I
Yeah.
think we do background checks and stuff. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want everyone not to feel like, oh, we got picked on or something. So.
right. Okay.
We had a motion and a second, is that correct?
Mhm.
We're now ready for roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes,
Morris.
Yes. Item 14, discussion and possible action regarding board policy. BS.
Yes.
And of course.
I kind of-
Turner.
You're here to present us policy
Just
BS.
Are you gonna,
Yep.
yeah,
Hey.
are you gonna come
I
talk
was
about
trying not
BS?
to go there, but you.
Walk right into that one, huh?
Don't be
You
idle.
knew when I read that. I would
Don't
have
be
to say
idle with your
something.
BS.
That's right.
I'll sit here and hide.
You got 5 minutes.
This policy
You've read it.
sure is
I've read
going to help us reduce the emissions that we have with our buses. But it also, this is a way to also possibly be able to receive a grant. We are applying for a Department of Environmental grant that we have to have a policy in place, or we'll have to put a policy in place to be able to apply for this grant.
It's awesome.
Which is going
think it's great.
to replace a diesel bus 2000 with an engine that's 2019 or newer.
Cool.
And so they will pay us up to 25% cost of that bus if we have a policy in place to help reduce the emissions.
So I talked to my resident expert, diesel expert, and he said this is excellent. He said it should have been done.
Awesome.
And unfortunately, though, he was kind of more concerned about the engines and less concerned about the kids. But he said that it helps the engines with these newer engines, something about these newer engines.
Pick your
If they
poison.
idle, I know, if they idle too long, I guess it's really hard on them.
the
So
diesel particulate filters, they get all jammed up.
no, it's something else, but yeah,
Okay, awesome.
so it's great. Yeah.
That seems pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
So I'm
Motion?
make a motion to approve the board policy Dan brought forward, BS, idling for our buses.
Did you have questions?
I talked to Dan.
Okay.
Thanks.
I need a second.
Second, Curtis.
Motion Allen, second Gertis. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Curtis.
Yes.
McGill,
Yes,
Morris.
Yes. Item number 15 is the consent agenda. Anybody have anything they need to pull?
I think I got most of mine done and then Jennifer brought in my other questions, so I already had mine done.
The,
I think.
the tech contract,
15E.
yes. They're paying us?
Mhm.
to bring our kids across the road.
Mhm.
I just thought the mileage on that was interesting.
Just that adds up for the year, I guess.
We're getting paid for 438 miles.
Mhm.
Is that because we counted the number of trips that we take across the highway? How did we come up with 438 miles?
They come up with it based on the number of
Okay.
times they run
Go back and forth.
back and forth,
So it would be, okay,
1, 2, 3, 4 times a day.
right. Just wondering,
Mhm.
interesting.
Someone to do that.
Okay,
So,
I also like this, on the fundraisers for CMS, singing Valentine's. I expect one. That's what I'm gonna say.
okay.
I saw
I took it from
that.
Rick Crosland too.
I didn't notice that.
I hope he's the one singing.
oh,
And lumping all of these activity funds into one purpose of account, has that been working?
It has been.
and just for the record, Jennifer's our singer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gosh.
So,
I was kind of wondering, Jerry Don, who was gonna buy this surplus kids sweaty stuff?
Yeah,
The trash.
No, actually, they will. People who played
Oh, that's true.
will do that. You'll be surprised.
maybe we could donate them.
You won't have to
Pay
donate
it.
them. You'll be able to sell them.
Can you sell the helmets?
You can, but the helmets.
Are they
have a
safety?
Shelf life.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
They're expired.
So
Yeah.
You have to be careful, so you have to call.
I bet Rochelle wants to buy one, huh?
But back to the purpose of accounts, but we
could
still,
be good
each
one.
one of these clubs has a different number. We still track all their money separately, but they just are united in purpose of accounts. You know, that's really good for paperwork processes
things up.
that we can do that.
Yes.
That's cool. I like it. Yeah, the old uniforms will sell in a little online auction thing. Any other questions? I need a motion.
Not right now.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second, Alan.
Motion by Gertis, a second from Alan. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 16, discussion and possible action regarding proposed executive session to discuss employee hiring and or resignation of individual salaried public officers or employees listed on Exhibit A, Executive Session Authority, Oklahoma Statutes Title 25-307B1. We need to go to executive session.
I didn't have any reason to, but I wanted to make sure.
I didn't either.
Everybody else, ready? You have
I-
anything to
I
share?
didn't.
We need to?
I do not. It's pretty straightforward, Exhibit A.
Didn't you say there needed to be one change?
There's one change, Tammy Williams. On there, the effective last date for her is in 22, not in 21. She is finishing out this school year.
We can get that on, make sure we get that when we get to it on the.
Yeah.
agenda. All right, to make a motion not to convene into executive session.
I'm sorry, one, oh, yeah.
We can do discussion.
Wait,
Yeah, we
I need a
I get
second.
Still do
second.
discussion.
I have a motion from McGill, a second from Gertis. Now discussion.
This is just be whether or not we're gonna go into executive session.
Right.
Past that, then we'll
Okay.
go to that.
Do we need to discuss this?
No.
Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Curtis.
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes, and that was a motion to not go into executive session. Okay.
17.
18.
Now you're
discussion-
ready to clarify any questions.
Discussion
Get that
and possible action regarding the hiring of individuals listed on
There we go.
Exhibit A. Anybody have a discussion about hiring?
Or any corrections on
During
the
it.
hiring list.
This
We
is where
do.
Tammy Williams,
That would be.
Or
that's
you have a
resignation.
motion.
resignation date is 5/21 of
I thought it was
2022.
retirement. Is that-
Yeah. It does. It's a separate item. Right now, we're just doing hiring.
We're just in hiring.
Right.
Do you have any
Hiring right
corrections for
now.
hiring?
Okay, I need a motion.
Do we have any corrections?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve hiring of individuals listed on Exhibit A.
Second,
Motion by McGill, second by Allen. Roll call.
Allen,
yes.
Curtis,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Morris.
Absolutely, yes. Number 19, this one would be discussion of possible action regarding the transfer, reassignment, or workday adjustment of individuals listed on Exhibit A. Any discussion about those?
So
Make a
moved.
motion to approve transfer, reassignment, workday adjustments for individuals listed in Exhibit A.
Second, Ellen.
Motion McGill, second Allen. Any further discussion?
No corrections, none?
Nope. Roll call.
Allen.
Yes.
Curtis.
Yes.
McGill.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 20, discussion and possible action regarding the resignations of individuals listed on Exhibit A.
This is where we need to adjust Tammy Williams' resignation effective date for the third time, May 21st of 2022. I hope everyone
Third.
has that,
Everybody got the message.
2022. Not 20. That's it.
And I need a motion.
I make a motion to approve the resignations of the individuals listed on Exhibit A with the change that Superintendent Crosland just mentioned.
Second.
Motion Allen, second McGill. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Allen.
Yes.
Curtis.
Yes.
McGill.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes. Item 21, we do not have any retirements. Item 22 would be new business. No new business?
No business.
None. Nothing of this.
Not according to law.
This isn't new business.
Item 23 is the
Yeah.
superintendent's
No.
report.
Okay, I'd like to say congratulations to our Chicken Express employees of the month, Fish Kennedy and Sue Stuckey from Lincoln Elementary. I'd also like to say congratulations to Hagan Pittsburgh, Kaylin Saint, Diego Garcia, Nicole Ewing, Sophia Brown from CHS, Dustin Burser, Zane Post, Mylan Haskell, Ariel Edwards, Reese Barron, RJ Ashen, Layla Paul, Zoe Mitchell, Caden Treaster, Phoebe Shaw, and Caden Black from CMS for being named to the Southwestern Band District Association 2022 All Region Honor. That has to be for me getting through all those names. All right, anyway.
Wait a minute, I'm not sure I got this right.
Right.
Yeah, sure. I'll mail you. The Pick Your Favorite Chick survey is still open through Friday, the 19th of next week. Everyone can still go to the district website, vote as often as you want for your favorite mascot. We will be announcing the winner at the December board meeting. Quick update on strategic planning. The community committee, say that 3 times real fast, has been identified and will begin meeting this week as we continue working with OSSBA. It's comprised of parents, students, staff members, patrons, and administrators, totaling around 30 people. Speaking of the December board meeting, we'll be recognizing all of our site teachers of the year at that meeting. Next Tuesday, November 16th we're bringing it back. We did not do this last year. We're bringing it back this year. Is our annual Thanksgiving luncheon at all sites. Parents, guardians, and grandparents are invited to join your child at Bill Wallace, Grand, and Ford Lincoln for lunch. Please contact your child's school for additional information, serving times, when the grade will be going, all that type of stuff. District administrators and coordinators will be at these sites helping serve meals. So I'm very excited. I will be at Bill Wallace next week.
What
serving
about
meals.
middle school and high school?
They're welcome to do that, but they just really don't have a big turnout for that.
But they are welcome.
They're welcome.
Gotcha.
The district will be closed for Thanksgiving break the week of November 22nd through the 26th. No sites or offices will be open. We will have a few people here working on that Monday, but everybody else is off. Yours truly will be off. I'm taking vacation time. Also, Christmas break is quickly approaching. You can believe Thanksgiving is 2 weeks from Thursday. Christmas is a mere 47 days from today. And it's so our break is December 17th through January the 3rd for students. Teachers will report back on January the 3rd for a PD day, and students will report back on January the 4th. I want everyone to remember Friday, December the 17th is a built-in snow day. So the last day of school is the 16th unless we have to use that snow day on the 17th. Hopefully we won't. The district will be holding its annual canned food drive from November 29th through December the 10th. All food collected will go to replenish the food pantries at the middle and high school, which have been running low this year because of supply chain issues. So the site that collects the most cans of food will get Cluck Norris.
It's at Grand right now, right?
Right now, it's at the high school. So
Okay.
Cluck Norris is kind of looking to see if he's gonna get to stay or find a new home. So we'll see what happens.
To drive it around.
All right. Earlier this year, Ms. Meeks announced her retirement as Principal Bill Wallace, effective at the end of this semester. We've been developing a plan to search for and name a new principal. Tonight, we are announcing, and I met with Ms. Meeks and Ms. Wenzel and Pam Ladyman last Friday. We met with the staff today. We are announcing that Dr. D'Amica Norwood will be the interim principal at Bill Wallace Early Childhood Center starting on. This is interim. I promised her, she is our federal programs coordinator. This is
No
not a
BS.
permanent gig for her. It's interim. She's graciously has agreed to do this after talking with her husband and her family and praying about it. And so we're excited about it. But anyway, in January, we will be posting the position of principal for Bill Wallace with the intention of naming a person in early spring, March, April being the very latest. I prefer to do it in March. Dr. Norwood will continue in her role as federal programs coordinator for the district during this time. We'll be offering her additional support, but thank you, Dr. Norwood, for doing that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, this is kind of an announcement. So principals, please make note of this, and the board, please make note of this as well. I apologize for no heads up, but this is something that I've been working on off and on throughout the entire day. Effective now. CPS will be moving back to optional quarantines for all staff and students. So if we have a student that is around somebody that has COVID or been exposed, it's up to the parent if they're going to quarantine their kid moving forward. We will be updating our continuity of services info to reflect this, but this is in effect now. In closing, Veterans Day is coming Thursday, November 11th, which is this week. Schools will be recognizing this special day in different ways and events. During the season of Thanksgiving, I think it's important for all of us to be thankful and grateful for the men and women who protect our country and our freedoms.
Amen.
This is truly the greatest nation. It's because of our veterans and our current service men and women that we can say this. So thank you for your service. That's it. That's my report.
All right. Item number 24 would be a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I know we all like being together, but we gotta have a second. Can I second it?
I second it. A motion by Allen, a second by Morse. Roll call.
Allen,
Yes.
Darden,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Honoring.
Yes.
Honoring.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, sir. See you tomorrow morning, principals, 8:30 a.m.